Transformers Rise of the Beast is aggressively okay, but it may have one of the best movie endings of all time. Let's talk about it. Hey everyone, it's David Chen. I talk about movies, TV, technology, and the media. And let's talk about Transformers Rise of the Beast. This is the 7th Transformers live action movie. And I have to say, if you are looking for a movie where robots beat each other up, I think Transformers Rise of the Beast is going to deliver for you. This movie is set in 1994. It's a direct sequel to Bumblebee, but it takes place before any of the original Michael Bay Transformers movies, and I think that is a smart move. Those movies have a lot of baggage and a lot of plot, and the idea of having a clean, fresh start with new characters is a great way to welcome new people into the Transformers franchise. Anthony Ramos and Dominique Fishback, I think these are enormously talented actors, and they do fine. They're running around with lots of CG explosions around them, and it's fine. It's fine. There's a few cool things that this movie does that I do want to give a shout out to. First of all, it introduces these creatures called Maximals, which are advanced Cybertronians that are in the form of human animals. So for instance, there is a Maximal called Optimus Primal, who is like a gigantic gorilla played by Ron Perlman, and it's just a really cool design, cool execution of that creature. There is Maximal shaped like an eagle or a falcon who is voiced by Michelle Yeoh. And if nothing else, Rise of the Beast gives you Academy Award winner Michelle Yeoh's voice coming out of a gigantic robot eagle. And that in and of itself is a gift to humanity. A surprisingly large amount of this movie takes place in Peru, and it's beautiful. It seems to be very lovingly done. There is a lot of lip service paid to the indigenous people there, and the shots they get of various sites in Peru are really gorgeous. Another thing I really appreciate about this version of Transformers is Optimus Prime actually looks like he could be a truck. And what I mean by that is the original designs of the Transformers in Michael Bay movies were super complicated. Like the first scene when Optimus transforms is just, there's so much stuff going on, and it doesn't really have a resemblance to the toys that we use. I mean, they sold these toys to kids, and you could manually open them and transform them yourself. Like, it didn't make sense that it was so complicated in the movies. But this version of Optimus Prime in Transformers Rise of the Beast looks like something a kid could actually deconstruct and put together again. I know this wasn't a big deal to a lot of people, but hey, to me it felt like a nod to those who were fans of the toys and cartoons that this is based on. If you watch a Transformers movie, you're probably curious how the action is. I mean, you want to see some hot robot-on-robot action, and it's pretty good. It's okay. I mean, one of the problems is that a lot of the action takes place in these remote locations. Unlike in Michael Bay's Transformers movies, where most of those took place in urban environments and in the city, and so you're seeing robots interact with the environment around them in really interesting ways. In Transformers Rise of the Beast, they're either in kind of these remote areas in Peru, or they're in completely CG environments. There are very few moments that really stick in the memory after you watch the movie, so don't go see this movie expecting amazing action. Transformers Rise of the Beast is a straight down the middle, decent Transformers movie that you can feel comfortable taking the whole family to. And that's important to mention, I think, because this is one of the Transformers movies that was not made with Michael Bay. But at the end of the day, a Transformers movie without Michael Bay is like having Thanksgiving without inviting your awful uncle over, you know, that uncle that everyone hates. Think about what the difference would be. First of all, it's possible to tell a coherent story without interruption. There's less random leering at women. There's fewer patriotic outbursts. Everyone has a better time and is less offended. Overall, it's a net positive, but it's not quite the same, is it? Another good comparison is like watching Pirates of the Caribbean 4 and 5 compared to 1, 2, and 3. Yes, the first 3 Pirates movies were really bloated and incoherent and not appropriate for kids, but they also had this creative, auteur-driven spark that was just missing from the later movies. So if you like your Transformers inoffensive, safe, family-friendly, and an okay time, I think you'll actually enjoy Transformers Rise of the Beast. Let's talk about the ending of Transformers Rise of the Beast. So I'm going to go full spoilers here, all right? So if you don't want to know the ending, be sure to stop this video. At the end of the movie, Anthony Ramos' character has saved the world. He's back in his old life. He's just trying to interview for a job so he can pay for his brother's healthcare. He is greeted by none other than actor Michael Kelly, who reveals that he's part of an elite global force that eliminates extreme threats. And the room that they're in kind of opens up to reveal this massive hangar, and that's when Anthony Ramos looks at the business card and realizes that he is interviewing with G.I. Joe. That's right. Transformers Rise of the Beast is setting up a G.I. Joe crossover. G.I. Joe and Transformers were such a big part of my childhood. I spent so many hours watching these cartoons, playing with these toys. If Transformers Rise of the Beast had come out 15 years ago, this would have been a bigger deal to younger David Chen than Nick Fury showing up at the end of Iron Man. Like, this is a crossover for the ages, and I am so excited. And I'm very curious if Transformers Rise of the Beast does well enough that they're actually going to follow this up. And so many questions like, are they going to use any of the lore from the G.I. Joe movies that have already been made? G.I. Joe Rise of the Cobra and G.I. Joe Retaliation, very different movies, but both very solid action movies in my opinion. So in short, Transformers Rise of the Beast has gotten me super excited about the future of this franchise. And I can't wait to see what's next. Viewer, I screamed in the theater. I shrieked. And I don't expect everyone to understand because maybe you don't care about these toy lines. That's fine. But if you're like me, if these were an integral part of your childhood, the idea that they're going to be combined, that's amazing. So at the end of the day, is Transformers Rise of the Beast worth watching? Could have been worse, could have been better, but I love that ending. That is like an ending like, you know, the end of Split when you find out it's part of the Unbreakable universe. It's up there, man. It's up there. Hope you enjoyed this video. I'm David Chen. Be sure to give me a like, follow, subscribe. See you later.